So welcome back to Studioreef, guys. This is part 2 of making money from a tank. I'm gonna show you guys how I do this. Last week where I left you off, we were doing the fragging, and some of you might be thinking, hey man, why didn't you show the fragging? But I'm gonna show you that in an independent video for each frag that I do. So don't worry about it, it's coming up. But for this segment right here is all about why do we frag in the first place. I'm gonna show you guys all the frags that I've made since part 1, and those are all lined up here in the bottom. We can take a look at those in a minute. So the reason I'm doing this is to just get the message out there, how easy it actually is to get some cash back from your tank, and also what kind of effort it really takes, because it's not a lot. It's pretty fun, and a lot of people are just really scared to get into this. It's really nothing to be scared of except for the zoantids. I don't really frag those without gloves and glasses and all that, but the rest of the corals, I can just frag that with whatever I have. Potentially you have two choices when you have corals for sale. Like, you can sell them to a vendor, your local fish store, and maybe you want to just trade in 4 frags for a new colony or something, and that's okay. But for me, the money is definitely on the forums and selling this on a website. I'm gonna take you through today. Let's get this rolling. Let's take a look at the frags, and welcome back, guys. Starting off with this one, this plating red one is the same as that one. They both came from this guy up here. Even a small piece on that one too came from there. So in the back, just behind this one, is a small piece of lobophilia. This is a head that came from this guy. I could just clip that off, so no need for power tools on that one. This guy came from this one. Also, that guy came from this one. This frag right here, as many of you have seen before, is from a video I did 2 weeks ago from that guy right there. From that one, I really needed the power tools because this one really had the hardest skeleton I ever tried fragging. So the blue candy cane came from this one over here. This guy was sitting up here, where I now have some of it left, and then I made this new frag. It's actually a 2-part frag, as you can see. It has like 2 small arms coming up there. That's a blue staghorn that came from this guy. You can see where I clipped it off. The torch, the neon green torch, came from this one over here, and that one originally came from this one. So those are the frag, guys. Let's grab some photos of them and have them sold off. So when selling frags, there's a lot of stuff that you can actually do to help promote that sale. What I do is I bring my corals, the new frags, I bring those down to this area here, which I call the sweet spot. I do that because the sand is really white in the background. There's some nice coloring corals, and people usually know what a candy cane looks like, what the colors are going to be. So that way they know that you don't Photoshop your frags. So what you see is what you get. That's the idea you want to promote here. So label your pictures. Make sure you get them by sunset or sunrise. Now, that same principle also goes for when you want people to come into your house and pick up frags. Clean your glass, have them come in at around evening time, and that way they see your tank and they're like, wow, blown away. Right there, they're just begging for getting new frags from you.
2 hours later.
It's been 2 hours since the upload of the photos. I've had reservations for all but the last 2 of the corals. So far we're up to $214.63. So keep in mind that the corals prices are probably a bit higher over here than they are in the US, etc. Also, it's a very seasonal thing. If someone just uploaded the same corals as you a few days before, they're not gonna have that same effect. But I've checked the forums last few days and it's been pretty much nothing going on there. So in my local reef club, these things are just being reserved, as you can see here, within just a couple of hours. So now we're just gonna wait for the doorbell. Let's see who actually shows up and gets these corals. The first pickup was a nice mom starting a 250-gallon tank. She picked up this coral. The second pickup was a nice guy named Tim who picked up these corals. He was really friendly and he was fairly new to the saltwater world, so he had lots of questions. We had a chat for almost an hour.
The next day.
So the third pickup was made by this lovely couple who came to pick up my crown jewel of the collection, which was the Lobophilia that I made 2 weeks ago. They were actually kind enough to show me a few shots of their tank, and I'm sure that my Lobo will be very happy living here. Now the fourth and final pickup was made by this gentleman here, and we spoke for almost 2 hours. We were just both really excited about the saltwater industry and stuff like that. He picked up all these corals for me, and he also had no problem giving us some photos of his lovely reef tank right here. So yeah, there you have it, guys. That just about wraps it up. That was my final sale of the day, and I have no more corals for sale right now. So in about a month or two, I'm gonna take a look at what grows fastest, and in about 3 months time, I'm gonna do all this all over again. The majority of the work here has actually been making this video. The actual selling and fragging of the coral is just a relaxing and fun thing to do, and I hope that I may have inspired some of you guys out there to give it a go. It's actually really fun. I do recommend Facebook groups, coral reef clubs, stuff like that. You actually get to meet so many people and see so many tanks, so it's actually a pretty fun thing to do. If you have time for it, I can definitely recommend it. Next week I'll be back with a new segment, and thank you guys for watching this one. I hope you've learned something or maybe enjoyed it a little bit. Thanks for all the new subscribers, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.